Hey y'all, this is Cindy. I'm the Tireless Tangler, and you have arrived at day 10 of the 100 Days of Zentangle Project 2020. Thank you all so much for being with me today. If you would do a favor for me and share these videos with people that you know that are trapped inside and don't have anything that's relaxing and productive to do. They don't have to be artists. They don't have to be people that know how to draw. All you have to do is have a desire to relax and do something productive and make something pretty. So invite your friends and fellow tanglers if you'd like to join us for this. Thank you, by the way. All right, today's tangle is going to be one of the first that I wanted to draw but never quite could manage it, and it is called Finery. It is a Zentangle Original Pattern. And I was drawn to it from the very beginning because it has such a lovely look to it. But I have to admit to you, I had some problems trying to replicate it. And so I finally just sort of gave up on it. And even after my training to become a certified Zentangle teacher, I still sort of didn't get it to work for me. So we are going to attempt this today together, and I hope you guys will join me. It's a lovely pattern that will complement so many of your spring tiles. And so let me show you something here that will hopefully help you. So in Finery, you're going to be connecting sections with these open sort of S shapes. Some of them are inverted, some not. Okay, and so what you're going to do, let me zoom. What you're going to do is you're going to start on one line, and it doesn't matter which one, it doesn't matter which direction you go. I find it very comfortable to start because I'm right-handed. I start on the right and I draw this line, I curve over, and then I end up landing on the opposite line. So that you have something that looks like this, sort of an open S shape, and in my case that's an inverted one. Okay, so and then you're going to do that to connect these sections all the way down. Okay, now if you're not comfortable making these types of S shapes, I highly recommend that you practice that a few times before you get started today on your tile. Okay, all right. And I know that some of you mentioned in comments that you struggled with patience yesterday. I want you to know that I do apologize that you struggled, but put it down for 24 hours and then pick up your tile again and take another look at it. Try it again and see what happens. All right? I can't make any promises. It did take me some real thinking about that to sort of see it. But I think once you do, it'll be pretty easy for you. You really have to focus on those middle orbs. Anyway, so Finery is usually drawn from a corner. Okay, or you could do from, if you had a string that has a little corner spot in it, it'll work from there. And I'm going to go ahead and do it a bit larger and show you how it works. Now, you're going to be putting little tendrils that go slightly curved tendrils, slightly, and I'm going to do, this is very similar to the beginning stroke for, now I can't remember. Well, this is actually our cadent stroke without the balls for sure. Now, what I want you to do is echo this by starting at the tip and then making a nice narrow aura or echo line. Mine, of course, is going to be deckled because that's how we roll. And I'm just going to draw it right off the end of the tile. Okay? Now, we're going to put a couple more going out from each side. All right? We're going to want each one of the ones we do on each side to be a tiny bit shorter than this long one. All right? So, and I'm going to match my curves going down, and they're going to get narrower as they come in here. All right, let me show you what I mean. Something like that. Okay, you can make them wider if you want. There's no right and wrong. There's only what you see in your mind. I'll be honest with you guys, I'm kind of afraid I'm going to make a mess here. And I'm going to let you down with this. I have always been fascinated by this tangle. I think it is just lovely. But I have never been able to make it work. But again, I haven't tried it in a couple of years either. So I think I'll stick one more down here since I want to use the whole tile. Like that. And I think now I'll do a couple over here. And again, I want my curve to stay approximately the same. Okay. I have really got the shakes today. So please bear with me. Goodness. All right. And one more, I think. I think I might do better pushing out today with my pen. Okay, so this is what your tile should look like approximately, or your corner or whatever you're drawing in. This is a great one for, this is a great tangle for decorating the edges of journals and things like that. All right, now we're going to get to that S stuff. I think I'm going to change from my Micron PN that I'm using today with the larger nib at this point, and I think I'm going to grab a 01 out of my great big box of them over here, and I'm going to use that to draw my dividing lines. Let's make sure this is going to draw okay. Yep. All right, now it does not matter which direction or which section you start in, but choose a section. All right, and again, I'm going to start at the bottom and make these S shapes as I go up, okay? You could, if you prefer them, you could start here and go like this, all right? Doesn't matter, you choose. I'm going to do, let's see, if I do it this way, it's all gonna come to a point up here. And so I think that's what I'm gonna do. Remember to start on one side, follow the line, and make that open curved S shape like that. Now I think I'm going to go back down here and take those off the page like that. Those aren't drawn nearly as well, you'll notice, because I didn't do the same stroke here. So I'm going to leave about the same amount of room. Trying to stay right on the line. Something that is not always easy for me. If some of the rest of you struggle with shaky hands and things like that, then I know you feel me on this. If you do not, then God bless you, you are a lucky person. I don't ever want to let my shaking stop me from tangling. All right, almost done with this. Okay, and now we're coming up to the tip, and you decide where you want to stop. I think I am going to put one more in here. It's going to end up looking a little wonky, but I think it'll be okay. All right, now I want you to skip one, leave one blank, come to the next one over from that, and do the exact same stroke that you did on this last one. All right? Starting on the line on one side, whichever you prefer, and curving up to the next side. Take your time with these lines. As you can see, it's not always easy to end up where you want to. And if you get in a hurry, that will not help you. Take a deep breath right now with me. I have got my shoulders around my ears today, so I'm going to relax those and drop them down. And that might help my shaking quite a bit. Now, we're really not happy with that bunch, but that's okay. It's going to be okay. Now, I've got one other section here that should go in this direction. As you can see, we're going to do every other section like this. All right, so I'm going to do that, but I'm going to turn my tile so that I get a more consistent stroke with these. And I'm going to start at the top and do them like this. They're still going to be the same direction, but I think I will get a better, more consistent stroke if I'm not starting off the side of the tile. All right, and so I think this one will be that way as well. Let's turn this way so I've got it. And we'll just do that like so. All right, so you should have something similar to this at this point. Now, we're going to turn our tile over, or opposite. No, we're not. Yes, we are. No, we're not. So what we want now is we want to take our line starting on the opposite side, and we're going to make these out this way, okay? And I'm trying to decide how to do that so that I am the most consistent with what I did on the other side. I think I'm going to try it. I don't think that's going to work very well. Let me go here. That's a little bit better. So I'm going to just go opposite of what I did here, and I'm going to start at about the same spot on this side as I did on this side. All right, so I'm using the same S stroke, but I'm not doing it backwards this time. I'm doing it forwards, if that helps anyone at all. Sometimes I know my descriptions are not that helpful. Now we got it going on. Now I've got my stroke. And if you're lucky, they're going to meet up on the other side too. Well, I didn't curve that one down very well. Okay. Well, that's not terrible. I wish I could fit another one right here, but that is not to be, and that's okay. All right. Let go of it, Cindy. Let go. All right, so I'm going to do now this section over here, if I can possibly manage to get it right. I'm going to. All right. But you can see when I do the strokes in a different way, then I get different results. And so if you want your sections to look consistent, if you care about that, then you're going to want to do them in the stroke the same way for each one. All right, so let's see if we can get this going. Some of these will be a little bit different simply because the stems are curved a little bit differently, and that's fine. Right. So this is what we have. Zoom out a little bit. Not possible. All right. Now it doesn't look like too much, but we're going to embellish, and I'll show you the embellishments that are on the step out. However, let me just say that if you have different ideas for that and you want to do something different, do whatever you like. Do whatever you like to do on these. But I will show you how they are done. When you start where they come to a point, all right, you're going to start on the bottom. You're going to start with, start here, a little rectangle that sort of follows the curve of your lines. And then they've got little orbs. You can black them or not. It's up to you. I don't think they are in the step out. You'll notice my little rectangles are curving with the line there. I think I'm just gonna, anyway, I'll try to finish this before I get all decorative, embellishy. All right, so now we know what we're doing here. That wasn't very good. Okay, and continue. Oh, Simba's about to talk to Karma. Say hi to Karma, buddy. No? Want to say hi to viewers Beth Lavelle and Lynn Gotham and Sue Reynolds, and who is the one that puts the Q on their things? Trying to think. I've got Mrs. Judy out there, and I have my Judy Morgan, who is always with me. Appreciate you guys. I love it when you guys leave me comments. Marianne. It just thrills me. We are going to have to do another tireless comment section soon. Now on the other side, you're going to go opposite, so that your little rectangles are coming out from the stem. I've got the motorcycles out today. It warmed up again. It's in the 70s. That is, again, around, I don't know, I'll have to look it up, but I think it's like 20 degrees or something centigrade. It's been a while since I lived in Germany, and my brain has gone back to the American way of thinking, except for the 24-hour clock. Once I lived in Germany, I never went back to AM and PM. It just was silly to me. That just makes so much more sense to me to use 24-hour clock. But now, if you have a situation like this, you're going to want to put your little orbs coming up, all right? You just kind of have to imagine your little rectangle is down there. Now, you can make these little orbs smaller or larger. You can, again, do as you wish with them. Let's put some more in. Now, well, this has turned out to be a little less stressful than I thought. It also looks busier than I thought. But I'm not going to prejudge it. It's like I tell you guys, don't give up on your art. Finish it and then make your judgments. Remember that art has an ugly stage. All art has an ugly stage. And if you're not willing to stick with it through the ugly stage, you never get to the beauty that is the end result. And when I stopped giving up on my art, I stopped having pages and pages of failed patterns everywhere. I just kept going all the way through to the end. And I was amazed. I actually got an honorable mention for one of my tiles in a weekly challenge once, and I had been going to throw it away. And then I had Annie Oaken's voice in my head saying, don't give up on your art. And so I went ahead and finished it, and it ended up winning sort of a best in show or whatever you want, honorable mention, whatever you want to call it. It's not that big a deal. But it wasn't that oh, I was better than anybody. What it was a type of validation for the effort that I put into the tile, and a validation of my efforts in improving and trying so hard. That's why it was important to me, not because I was better than somebody else, because I'm not. I'm so not. I learned last year during the 100-day project that you guys, I mean, I had so many of you that had 100-day projects that were, oh, astoundingly beautiful. And I just, you know, I was a little jealous of the way some of them turned out, I'll be honest. And it was just such a beautiful thing for me, though, to see that they could take an idea that I had and make something so wonderful out of it. So I am thrilled that you guys do your own thing. And if you want to do it like mine, that's fine. I know I have said this over and over, but I really want you to know, whatever you do is okay. You cannot do this wrong. And if you are one of those people that are highly creative and you've got your own ideas for ways to embellish these, or ways that you can do the pattern differently, go for it. I recommend you do it, and then I want to see your result when you get done, because I think that is fascinating. Did you know that I am most inspired by seeing people that have taken a standard idea and then run with it? I think that is such an amazing talent. All right, look there. I finished. Now, I got in a hurry with my orbs, you can see. Sorry about this. My cuticles and I had a little fighting match with something yesterday, and I got all bunged up. Okay, that's bugging me now. You can see that the orbs, now some of this is my shaking and jerking, but when I got in a hurry, I was just, and this is what you get when you're in a hurry. Whoops, sorry. Like this, see right there? I didn't start and stop my orb carefully. I was in a hurry. I was just jotting them down and letting the pen go as it would. And if you take your time and slow down and breathe for those, you get a much nicer result. In fact, I see several of these that I didn't take my time on. So this is not to be critical, but it is to let you know that taking your time is a big deal. Okay, now I am actually fairly pleased with the way this turned out. I think when I get my shading in, that is going to make a big difference. I'm also probably, because I was so sloppy with my little orbs, I will probably black those. And I'm not sure what else I'm going to do, but I'm going to go ahead and shade it this time first so that I don't get the shine. And someone said in comments yesterday or the day before that that they use a colored pencil, a gray colored pencil, to do their shading with so they don't get that. That is a great idea. I frequently use my black, it's a Prismacolor Verithin, V-E-R-I-T-H-I-N. It's a type of pencil that Prismacolor makes that's quite hard, and it's not opaque, it's more see-through. And it is a great pencil for shading these kinds of things. So you can get a cheap pack with a black Verithin, you know, a 12 pack with a black Verithin, and those are really nice. Those are really nice for things like shading. Now, another thing I want to share with you. I'll probably get in trouble. You CZT people out there, don't tell on me. I probably will take my gel pen and mark and just clean up some of these stray marks here so that it looks nicer when I get done. Just throwing that out there for you. I'm just shading with graphite along the lines of these tendrils. That is going to give some depth and make the leaves look like they're sort of undulating, which is a cool effect. And I'm going to do it on both sides. Make sure you're getting your pencil right up on your inked line, so that you don't have any of those little white gaps that you sometimes get. If I'm not careful, I'm going to have shading in my tendril here. And again, I'm a pretty heavy shader. You shade as you will. It takes practice. And I will tell you also that I frequently have a problem with too much graphite. And because I'm trying really hard not to find an eraser, I would be a very bad example if I did that. So I am really trying to be careful with my shading so I don't get things out of hand, because you know, if you put a lot of graphite in here and then you spread it out, then pretty soon you don't have that movement anymore. It's just all gray. So you guys know. You guys know. I have any other heavy shaders out there? What do you guys think of shading? Do you like to do it dark, or do you prefer to do it light? A burning question. All right, let's see if we can do this. So, my doctor's office called me today. I have been waiting for knee replacement surgery for, I don't even want to talk about how long. And I had it scheduled in March, and then I had the problem with my left hand, and we thought we were going to do surgery on the left hand first, but now it looks like then they said I could wait and do the knee surgery first, and La la la. Anyway, it's sort of been hit and miss. And of course, there has been a ban in our state on elective surgeries, which duh. But the doctor called finally and said they had lifted the ban starting the 24th, and so they were scheduling surgeries. So on April 24th, I'm going to be having my right knee replaced. Now, between now and then, wait, April 24th, that's next week. Holy cow, that's like, no, that's, wow. Anyway, it's short. So I've got like a week and a half. So I'm going to try to bank some videos ahead of time so that you guys don't miss out while I am under the knife, as it were. And then hopefully I'll be right back to making videos after that. Now, I sometimes struggle recovering from anesthesia, but I think having this to do and focus on may really help to keep me from malaise, if you will, that I tend to get from anesthesia. Hopefully we aren't going to get interrupted by this, but I have been waiting so long for this surgery, and then only to have everything canceled just when I was due to go. So I just wanted you guys to know that that was coming up on the 24th, supposedly, and unless something else happens, it probably will. And so I will be out of pocket for several days in the hospital, and then I'll be home, and hopefully I'll be up to carrying on. I wish I could do 2 or 3 weeks worth of videos, but since I'm having trouble getting one a day done, and I'm up all night finishing them. Last night was awful. It was awful. Every time I tried to export the video that I had spent, you know, hours and hours editing and getting ready to go, and then I kept getting an error, and then I'd spend another hour exporting it, and I'd get an error, and I tried to export it 3 times, and then I have to upload them to YouTube, and that takes, depending on how busy they are, how busy the servers are, and all of that, that takes, you know, at least an hour. So, and then I had to be up at like 4 a.m. to try to put the title in. I don't think I got any tags in. I think the description is empty. So I've got to get my act together seriously if I'm going to have surgery in a week or 2. So, now the magic is happening, isn't it? I like this. I like it so much. I have always loved this pattern. I've just never been able to get it to work. Now here, I went too heavy on the graphite. I got too much here, and I'm going to have to take my eraser and lift a little bit of it out because it got messy fast. And you have to do some blending to keep it from having lines. But if you've got too much to start with, when you blend it out, you end up with no highlights. So I just happen to have an old eraser sitting around here. It's an art gum eraser. It looks terrible. And I'm going to just go through, and where I've got graphite, stray graphite smudged out somewhere, I'm just going to lift it out. And then on these right here, I'm going to lift out some of this in the middle. Now, I am not erasing a mistake. I just want to say I am simply, well, okay, you could say that. But I'm simply lifting out some of this graphite to re-enhance my highlighted part. All right, there. Now, I am going to go through and do some embellishing. These types of patterns are so much fun because they're a framework for what you want to do next. And I think I'm going to do some inking with mine and redrawing some lines and just tidying up. I think there's there are some opportunities here to pretty this. Something else I was going to mention is that Sandy Steen Bartholomew is the one that has the written step out for this on Tangle Patterns, and she puts little curly cues, little spirals on the ends of her little tendrils. You can do that, you cannot do that, do what you want, and it's going to be fine. So what do I want? I want my Micron that is running out of ink. I think this is the one that's running out of ink. So if you have a 01 that is running out of ink, this one is really running out. See, like that. These are perfect for making little hash marks, for a type of shading. So what I really am wanting to do, and this is going to take time, so of course I'm going to speed it up. And don't try this unless you feel comfortable with this. This is a more advanced thing than you need to do. And if you're a beginner, if you've got this far, you are doing great, and you should probably not try this next. But what I'm going to do is add some little hatch marks right along the edge, making sure my pen is turned so I'm getting the least amount of ink. No, it's not very neat. All right, here we go. This is the way that I'm going to go with this. You guys, of course, may do as you wish, and I can't wait to see what you guys are going to come up with for this. Use your creativity. Let it guide you. You don't have to do it like mine. You can do it completely differently if you like. I'm going to keep working on this. You guys will be seeing the finished product soon, and or you did at the beginning. And so we're going to see what happens. Let me know. Was this easy for you, or was it hard for you? Did you struggle with the lines, or was it just a simple, enjoyable, easy pattern? So let me know how you feel about that. And we are going to be back tomorrow for day 11 of the 100 Days of Zentangle. Don't forget to post your art on Instagram, hashtag the Tireless Tangler, or you can say at the Tireless Tangler, or you can do hashtag 100 Days of Zentangle 2020. Thank you guys so much for being with me today, and I will see you tomorrow for day 11.